Last week, we established that CORS is more misunderstood than full-on monster. And today we're diving a bit deeper. We'll be learning about two types of CORS request and configuration. As you might remember, we left our heroes as they narrowly avoided a CORS error, and now they must learn to differentiate between the different types of CORS requests. There are two types of CORS request: simple and pre-flighted. A simple request can be initiated directly. That's simple. A pre-flighted request must send a preliminary pre-flight request to the server to get permission before the primary request can proceed. That is, the client has to ask and the server has to give the green light before the data can be served. There are several circumstances under which request is pre-flighted. It uses methods other than get, head, or post. It uses the post method with a content type other than these types, or it sets custom headers. For example, if your app uses put to ensure idempotent requests, this request would need to be pre-flighted. Let's look at what happens when a browser makes a simple request to cloud storage. The browser adds origin header to the request. The origin header contains, as you might have guessed, the origin of the resource seeking to share the other domain's resources. Cloud storage compares the HTTP method of the request, like get or post, and the value of the origin header to the methods and origins information in the target cloud storage bucket's CORS configuration to see if there are matches. If there are, cloud storage origin includes the access control allow origin header in its response. The access control allow origin header contains the value of the origin header from the initial request. The browser then receives the response and checks to see if the access control allow origin value matches the domain specified in the original request. If they do match, the request succeeds. If they don't match, or if the access control allow origin header is not present in the response, the request fails. A pre-flighted request performs some additional steps first before following the same steps in a simple request. First, the browser sends an options request containing the requested method and requested headers of the primary request. The server responds back with the values of the HTTP methods and headers allowed by the targeted resource. If any of the method or header values in the pre-flight request aren't in the set of methods and headers allowed by the targeted resource, the request fails and the primary request isn't sent. If the method or header values are included, the request continues like a simple CORS request. Once again, this is a true bite of the full CORS meal, so make sure you check out the documentation to learn some more. But let's talk about how you configure CORS for cloud storage. Cloud storage allows you to set CORS configuration at the bucket level only. You can set the CORS configuration for a bucket using the GSUtil command line tool, the XML API, or the JSON API. Let's look at setting up CORS configuration with GSUtil. First, I need a CORS JSON document. Here's an example. This JSON document explicitly allows cross-origin get and post requests from origin1.example.com, but not head. It may include the content type response header. Then I set the CORS policy of the bucket to the JSON document. To remove the CORS configuration of a bucket, the GSUtil command is the same. The difference is that the CORS JSON document is empty. Now you know a bit more about CORS as well as how to set the CORS configuration for a cloud storage bucket. If you want to know even more about cloud storage and CORS, check out the links in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, and tell us what you want to learn about Google Cloud Storage. Thanks for joining us for this quick bite of cloud storage. We'll see you next time.